Good morning, Mounties. For today's advisory activity, we'll begin the pre-registration and course selection process for the 2016-17 school year. You should have in front of you a course catalog and a course selection sheet. Feel free to turn down corners of certain pages or make notes in your course catalog. This is your reference book for details related to all courses offered at Rogers High School. During this time, Mrs. Gartman is also standing by to answer any questions. Teachers, you can email her at jgartman as questions arise. Also, remember, since we're not doing a live feed, you can start and stop the video as needed. Everyone should have done a credit check during advisory earlier this month to look at your progress toward graduation. Let's review the graduation requirements. You can find this information in your course catalog on page 6. This might be a good page to maybe fold the corner down. There are two paths to graduation in Rogers Public Schools, Smart Core and Core. Smart Core are the courses recommended by the State Department of Higher Education. They're the courses that will best help students to be prepared for moving on to college or into a career directly out of high school. This diploma requires the 4 credits of English, 4 credits of math, including Algebra 2 and 1 course beyond or higher than Algebra 2, 3 science credits, one of those being biology, and 2 chosen from either physical science, chemistry, or physics, and 3 social studies, 1 credit of world history, 1 credit of U.S. history, a half credit of civics or government, and a half credit of economics. In addition, students must have a full credit of PE, a half credit of oral communication, also called speech, a half credit of health, half credit of fine arts, and a half credit of career and technical education. You add 7 more credits of electives to reach the total of 24 required for graduation. Each of you should be very familiar with the graduation requirements. Make sure you know what it's going to take to earn your diploma. If you're unsure if a specific class counts as fine arts, PE, or career and technical education, refer to the course catalog. That information is given for every course. Let's take a quick look at the core graduation requirements. They're almost identical to Smart Core requirements with just a couple exceptions. English and social studies are the same for both Smart Core and Core, but math is a little different. Both diplomas require 4 credits of math, but for Core, students must specifically have a credit of algebra and a credit of geometry, plus any additional math credits that would be needed to bring the total to 4. So for example, if a student takes algebra first part, algebra second part, then geometry first and second parts, that student has earned 4 math credits and thus met the math requirement for a Core diploma. Science is also slightly different for Core. Students must have a full credit of physical science, a full credit of biology, then a third science. It doesn't necessarily have to be chemistry or physics. These requirements are exactly the same for both Core and Smart Core diplomas. Again, make sure you know where to find this information in your course catalog. Honors graduation requirements are found on page 3 of the course catalog. There are 3 levels of honors with differing GPA, AP course, and grade point requirements. Students must complete Smart Core plus 2 years of the same world language. If this is a goal for you, plan ahead to make sure you work in the necessary numbers of AP and world language classes. Again, this is on page 3, so if you're interested in doing that, you might dog ear or turn down that corner. While you're still a couple years away from applying for the lottery scholarship, it's important to be familiar with the requirements for eligibility. We talk about this scholarship because any student who is eligible and applies receives the funds, as long as there are funds available. Be sure to work hard in your classes in order to be prepared for the ACT, SAT, or Compass. You'll have to have qualifying test scores to be eligible for this scholarship. The best way to reach those scores on the test, on the ACT, the SAT, or the Compass, is to be sure that you're working hard in your classes along the way, so that way when you test, you have the knowledge that you need to earn those scores. In order to be considered a sophomore next year, students have to have earned 5 credits by the end of summer school 2016. Students who have not earned 5 credits by the end of summer school will be considered freshmen again for the 2016-17 school year. At the end of next year, you'll need 10 credits to be a junior, then 17 the following year to have senior status. These targets keep students on track for graduating high school within the traditional 4 years. If you're not going to have 5 credits by the end of the year, you need to talk with your counselor about credit recovery. These are 3 websites that allow students to do college, scholarship, and career searches based on specific information that might be important to you. For example, if you want to go to a school with a student population less than 5,000 students, or if you want to find a school with a certain major tied to a career. Big Future is supported by a college board who also manages the AP program as well as PSAT and SAT exams. My Next Move gives users different options for searching for potential careers, and Real Life Arkansas helps determine the income needed to support your desired lifestyle, then connects that with careers and education needed for those careers. New courses. We have several new courses this year, all of which fall into the career and technical education category. Plant Science has replaced Intro to Horticulture, and I'll give you a minute to read the others on the list. Again, you can find specific information about these and all courses in the course catalog. The easiest way to locate a specific course is looking in the back of the course catalog at the index. That starts on page 76, and it's an alphabetical listing of all the courses. For any class that requires a tryout or application, you'll need to choose a different class in your initial course request until those tryouts are complete. On the back of your course selection sheet, you'll see this section where you would write down the class you'll want to drop when tryouts are complete and you have been selected for whatever that sports team is, or for yearbook, or the level of choir, whatever it is that you're trying out for. By doing this, it becomes automatic that your counselor substitutes that course that you've tried out for into your course selections once you've been admitted into the class. Starting today, your core teachers will be talking with you about their recommendations for you for next year. In the meantime, take your registration sheet and course catalog home, discuss options with your parents, select 14 semesters of courses. 14 semesters fills out a 7-period day. Also, on the back of the course selection sheet, list 4 semesters worth of alternates and have your parents sign the sheet. The alternates are very important, as sometimes there's no way to get the combination of courses you've selected to schedule. For example, sometimes 2 courses are only offered at the same time, which then leaves a gap in your schedule. When that happens, we have to fill in alternate choices. So be sure you choose alternates carefully, because they could very likely end up in your schedule. The other part is, if you don't select alternates, then we just pick something that will fit in your schedule. So it's very important that you give some time and thought to what alternates that you want to choose. Teacher recommendations will be loaded into your Hack accounts by next Monday afternoon. After that, when you log in, you can see those, and then you'll be able to add your elective request. Once you've done that, your credit total should be 7. Don't put your alternates in Hack. They'll only be listed on the course request sheet. Next Wednesday in advisory, you'll have an opportunity to update your requests on Hack if you haven't already done that, or if you need help. Also note that you will not be able to adjust core courses that show up in your Hack account. If you and your teacher have decided that you're going to do pre-AP English, say for example, but then you decide with your parent that you want to do regular English, when you come visit your counselor, we will make that adjustment for you, but you will be unable to adjust anything but electives in your Hack account. And again, do not list your alternates in Hack. The final step in the process is to meet with your counselor to discuss and turn in your course request sheet. You will do this through your English classes. Your English teacher will tell you what day that you will be coming down to the counseling office. Be sure you're prepared and have loaded your courses into Hack. Once the course request sheet is submitted, there will be no changes on those courses until the first week in April. Then you'll have a 5-day period to make any adjustments. You're welcome to stop by the counseling office if you have questions, but you can also email your counselor if that's a better option for you. For the rest of your time at Rogers High School, you'll be assigned to a counselor based on your last name. Students with last names A through D, Miss Anderson is your counselor. E through K, Miss Cottle. M through RI is Miss Riggs, and RO through Z will work with Mrs. Gartman. You'll stay with this counselor for the next 3 years. These are the email contacts for each of the counselors. Please make note to get plugged in with information and updates coming from the counseling office. Those of you that have your phone, if your teacher says it's okay, get it out right now and join our Counseling Remind. This will be a mechanism for us to get information out to you about upcoming deadlines, any information related to ACT or colleges that might be on campus visiting, or other things that will be coming through the counseling office. We also have a Facebook page where information is posted and a Twitter account. So get connected and be in the know. Teachers and students, thanks for tuning in and for being prepared to help make this process successful. If you have questions, please stop by the counseling office or email Ms. Gartman. Have a great day, Mounties.